Hey there, it's Jessica with Pineapple Relations. I'm going to show you today how you can shortcut building emails in Kartra so they are always on brand, they always look great, and they're much faster to build. So I am in an email builder. I'm in broadcasts, but it truly doesn't matter where you do this. You can do this from broadcasts or you can do this from sequences. Start with a blank email, and you're going to toggle that email to rich HTML. This used to be called advanced emails, and I might still refer to it as advanced emails, but this is the rich, the more styled version of these emails. With this blank template, what we're going to do is we're going to create individual templates within this builder, save them as templates, and then we'll be able to refer back to them on a really quick basis. So what I do in my account, and if I'm setting up emails for clients, it's what I've started doing in their accounts as well. So you can start with any of these assets, and we're going to touch on most of them, but once I do a couple, you're going to get the idea of what I'm doing here. So if you start with headline, these are some default set headlines for you. Little text above, larger text underneath, different formats. So if you pick any one of these, and let's make the adjustments to make it a little more on brand. Let's say I want this one bold, and I want this to be on my brand teal color that I have here. And that looks good to me. So I can save this as a template, and your templates are really short names that give you quick access to things. So I'm going to call this PR headline, and I don't have a lot of space, so that's about all I'm going to include there. Save it as a template with the Save as Template button, and then it's saved as a template. And then you can delete this section from the canvas. Now let's look into text. I like to pre-program our standard salutations here. So if we always said, hey, and then first name, and then you left yourself right copy here. And that is the way that you address people always and going forward. So let's save it as PR welcome, because that's our first section that we use. I'm using PR, my business name is Pineapple Relations. Use what fits best for you. Now, let's also say that we have a standard sign-off that we use. I often use Jess, and then Pineapple Relations. I might link this with Command K on my Mac to go to my website, and that's not spelled rightly, but it's okay. And let's say that I want this to be on brand teal, like, I'm gonna save it as a template. Oh, that's, okay, you get the, all right, I've already got that one saved as something else. Okay, so when we get into things like your content layouts, let's say we use this one often, but this blue is not on brand. So let's change this blue to my light teal. And then when I do that, I'm going to want this text to be this dark blue that I use. It's almost like a black, but it's a little softer than a black. And I want my button to be my teal color, and then that is not what I wanted to do. And then I wanted the text here to be white. So as we're going through all of these components, we're styling them to your brand. Save it as a template. We'll do two more, and then I'll show you how we put this into play. Delete it when you're finished making the edits and change them. Do the same for buttons. This is the most common one that I use because I haven't found anybody whose brand color is this green. So I usually change the button text to say change me, so I know that it still needs to have attention to it. And if I wanted it yellow or this teal that I use, do that. Save your button. Delete it once you've saved it. And then the last one that I found is super helpful to have always done is a footer. This is the little bits of pieces that go down at the bottom of your email. You can change this to whatever you like, adjust your brand colors. Maybe I want this background to be the border background. My face is in the way. This lighter color of blue, and then you can go ahead and save it as a template. You can do this for any of these assets in this area. You can even do it for pre-built content areas. As an extra tip, when you're doing things like this, you can also come into the pre-made templates that are in full templates, and you can figure out which ones are you, and maybe some of these elements really speak to you. Like, let's say this is an example that we really like. I didn't do logo. We'll talk about logo in a second. And we really like this 1, 2, 3 area. We're going to delete everything else in this email that we don't love. We'll get there. And we can keep this one independent section, and that's a really good way to find maybe some things that are a little more on brand for you that might not be in these categories. The one that I did want to talk about was the headers, and there's a bunch of headers here. So if you wanted to do one, get rid of this guy since in theory we saved it. We've got our logo, and then we've got our social icons here, and this is what we're going to use always. You can go ahead and save that as well. All right, once we've got all of these saved, let's now think that we're going in to create a brand new email, and we need to pull it together. So if you go into My Templates, that's where everything we just did save. And it looks like with the new update, those names aren't showing. I'll get it taken in. So now you've got your header, your introduction, your image that gets styled here, your signature down at the bottom, and then your sign off is here. So in about 30 seconds, we have put all the pieces into play without having to reformat anything that's here. So now what we're able to do is just go in and write your email copy, and you've saved a ton of time and resources in building out those components because they already have all the assets, all the things, they are all branded to you. The other piece that you can do here is you don't have to save these independent sections as each little cell as a template. You can save the entire block as a template as well. So if this is something that you're using always, maybe this is the standard outline for your weekly newsletter, you can save this as a template and refer back to it often. One of the things that I've found that I'm doing quite a bit is I'm just keeping a really simple outline here that's ready to go. I know I'm always going to send email that has an image, my social icons, hey, and a copy, my information, and then the button. Maybe it's at the bottom. I can save this template, and this is my standard email template to go to. This alleviates the pain point of not having the ability to clone independent sections, and you don't need to clone them because they're saved in your templates. Let me know if this was helpful. I can't wait to see how you do with email. Check me out on my private Facebook group for all things Kartra. Have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you soon.